So if you're planning to study in UK for your further studies, this video will be really helpful for you because this video is a comprehensive guide of the whole process. So do watch this video until the end. This video will cover these topics. If you want to know about some particular topic, you can just skip the video to that section. Specifically, why I won't recommend you to apply now is inflation. As I said, the economy is in mess, inflation is at all-time high, the cost of living is at all-time high. So the usual expenses the student used to pay in 2021 were about £500 to £600, which is about 50 to 60,000 rupees. But post 2022, the monthly expenses the student is incurring have reached up to a level of £1,200, which is quite high. Another thing, because the cost of living has gone up, the rental places have gone up, and finding a place in UK, a place in London specifically, is very difficult at the moment. Especially for newcomers, I've heard rumors that people are actually sleeping on couch. Why apply to UK? Specifically now, there's a post-study work permit that allows you to work in the UK after your studies get finished for up to 2 years. But the rumors are about the reduction of post-study work permit duration up to 6 months after your studies. So this is the first reason you want to apply now. So usually how economies work are in cycles of highs and lows. So right now it's a low time for the economy of UK, but by the time you graduate and start applying for jobs, the economy have quite good chances of bumping back up to good levels. So let's talk about English language requirements now. You need to give IELTS or PTE or Duolingo. IELTS, you have to score more than 7.5 and 8 if you want to go for a Russell group. So you need minimum of 6 band overall with no less than 5.5 band. If you find IELTS hard to give, then you can check out my video on PTE, which is actually easier than IELTS. So if you want to know more about PTE, then you can check out my video on PTE. I'll put a link in the description. Now let's talk about universities. Just like India, UK has 4 levels of universities and colleges. The duration of bachelor's in UK is only 3 years, even for engineering programs, as compared to India, where we all know that BTech is of 4 years, and master's is only 1 year in all the programs, even in MBA. So you're actually saving 1 year of fees in UK. There's an institute, University College Application Services, through which all your application actually goes through. So while applying to UK, you can only apply to 5 universities at a time. And in order to increase your chances of getting a good university in your dream universities, you have to do a lot of research and see past data where the students have gotten admit similar to your profiles and where you have the higher chances of getting an admit from a good university. Another thing is documents that you require for your application. All your transcripts, all your mark sheets, your passport application, or your passport, your SOP, your LOR. What is SOP and LOR? SOP is statement of purpose. It is sort of like a resume, but in a SOP, you have to make a story of why you're specifically applying to that university and why the university should admit you, what sort of skills do you have. So you're making a story and you have to make it very persuasive and convincing for the admission committee to consider your application. What is LOR? LOR is letter of recommendation, which you receive from someone highly authorized. Let's say you've done your bachelor's, one of the professor in bachelor's giving you recommendation because you performed well in his subject. Types of universities now. First comes Russell Group. Russell Group is a 4 of 24 university institutions that are best in not just in the UK, but also in the world. They consist of universities like Oxford, Cambridge, University of London, Royal Holloway. Basically, Russell Group is the Ivy League of UK. And don't be discouraged. I know a few people that have gotten into Ivy League of UK, but your profile has to be really strong. Your academics has to be really strong. So if you're considering to put Russell universities in your university shortlisting, do make sure that your 12th percentage is above 75% and your bachelor's percentage is above 60% if you're applying for master's program. And your SOP, LOR have to be of an amazing quality. They have to be really convincing and persuasive to be able to be considered because these are highly competitive universities. The fees of the Russell Group is very high. It ranges from £20,000 to £25,000, which comes to around 20 lakhs to 25 lakhs for 1 year. And this is just the tuition fees. This is not including your living expenses. This is just the fees that you'll be paying for studying in UK in a Russell Group university. These are the most expensive universities almost in the world actually. Then comes Tier 1. Tier 1 are the universities that have the ranks of less than 350 in QS World University rankings. To get admission in these universities, you have to get at least 60% in your 12th and above 55% in your bachelor's if you're considering for master's. The fees of these universities is about 15 lakh for undergrad courses and £15,000 to £25,000 for master's and postgraduate courses. So as you can see that some of the universities are actually charging you £25,000. That is actually equivalent to Russell Group University, which have high recognition. That's why you don't want to waste your chances of getting a Russell Group in the same amount, getting more value out of your money. So let's talk about academic gap. If you have a gap of more than 2 years after your 12th, you may as well drop your plans of going to a Russell Group University. You can apply to a Tier 1 or Tier 2 university though. Then comes Tier 2 university, which have ranks from 350 to 650 in QS World University and times now. Academics that you need is, you need 50% in both 12th and undergrad if you're considering masters, or if you're considering bachelor's, then you need at least 50% in your 12th. But we don't recommend anyone to go to tier 2 universities. I don't personally have seen many people going to tier 2 universities. If your percentage is above 60% in 12th and bachelor's, then you may well be applying to tier 1 universities, because the fees is actually the same for tier 2 universities as well. So what's the point of going for tier 2 universities, getting less recognition, less chances of jobs and everything? If you can basically get an IIT in that money, why would you want to go for a private college? And tier 3 universities are universities which have a world ranking of more than 650. The fees is actually around the same. It starts from 15 lakh. All universities give you CAS, a confirmation of acceptance, which you get after paying the deposit of fees. The deposit ranges from 1,000 to 4,000 pounds, depending on the course and universities. The university provide you unconditional offer letter just to book your seat, so that allocation does not go to any other student. So let's talk about living expenses now. Living expenses depends on a lot of things: your lifestyle, how many friends you have, how much you go out, how much you drink, how much you spend in food, how much you travel. But on an average, your living expenses, if you're living in London, then you can expect to spend monthly at least 1,000 to 1,200 pounds. And if you're living outside London, then this reduces to even less than 1,000 pounds. But do keep this in mind that inflation is all-time high in the UK. So the living expenses that you can expect will be a lot higher. So if you get selected for your university, then you have to also pay a health insurance, which stands at about 705. You have to pay this fees before applying for visa. And if your visa gets rejected, your whole fee will be refunded to you, but your visa application fees will not be refunded. Your deposit fee will be refunded to you. So if you want to get this for cheaper, there are actually a lot of agents, educational agents, which are in the market. You can go with IDP, you can go with the Leverage, you can go with the SIUK. But what these agents do is they have affiliations with these universities in the UK, and they get a certain percentage of your fees as commission to them. That's profit to them. You can actually consult these agents, get a shortlisting from them, or even apply through them. Some of them have a scholarship. Some of them actually does not charge you anything for application to any university. If you're applying yourself, then you may have to pay application fee, which can range from 50 to 100 to 150 pounds. But if you're applying it through any agent, then they won't charge any application fees. But beware that these agents will try to push you towards the universities they have more commission with. So that's why it's important to do your own research and make sure that you're eligible for better universities if you're applying to them. So this concludes our university information and sort of universities and their requirements. Now let's talk about visa. First thing is research and shortlist some universities. Second is prepare your SOP, LOR, your profile, your application, and submit to them. Third thing is getting an offer letter from them and paying the fees. And after that comes the visa part, which is the most daunting task. So the visa fees currently stands at 37,000 rupees. You have to submit everything from your passport, a confirmation of acceptance letter from the university, proof of funds that you have the living expenses and the tuition fees combined in your account. The funds that in your account has to be present for at least 28 days. And doesn't matter the source of the funds. You can ask for your friends, family, anyone. Let's say you get admission in Oxford University and you get a Masters of Culinary Arts, and you get a tuition fees of 25,000 pounds plus 10,000 pounds for your living expenses. So in overall, you have to show 35,000 pounds. So which comes around 35 lakh rupees. If you're financing this through loan, then loan letter, or if you're financing it yourself, then this amount has to be in your account until your visa application gets processed.